everyone. I'm Ione Butler and I'm the founder of Uplifting Content. Today's guest is the lovely Runa Magnus, and I'm very excited to talk to her because we're going to talk about something that I think everyone cares about and everyone is interested in, and it's how to find your happiness and get in your happiness zone. So Runa, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
Oh, being with you today, that is the highlight of the day. And by the way, it's morning for you. I'm here in Iceland and it's afternoon for me. And I'm telling you, this has been a pretty good day. So what is ahead of you is going to be a good one.
Fantastic. Thank you. I've had a really lovely weekend at a festival called Lightning in a Bottle. And so I think for happiness, because we're talking about happiness, I absolutely had a fantastic time this weekend, just being with open-minded, lovely people and connecting. And I did a yoga class, and it was a fantastic yoga teacher who was talking about, we go to these events or we go on vacation and everyone's so open and lovely and gets on with each other and is kind and talks to each other. And then we go back to the real world and we're kind of, closed off, and we don't always have that same joy and expression and fun when we're back in the real world. So it's how to keep that feeling of being on holiday every day or being at a festival every day in your day-to-day life. So I'm glad we're having this conversation because I'm kind of in that zone right now.
Yeah.
So first of all, I would just love you to introduce yourself and tell the audience a bit about you, your story, where you're from and what you're up to.
Oh, thank you. So you gave me my name. My name is Runa Magnus, and I'm actually Magnusdottir, but to keep it simple for anyone that doesn't understand the whole length of my name, I just keep it to Runa Magnus. I'm an entrepreneur, born and raised and living in Iceland. And for the past 12 years, I've really been in the leadership and personal branding world, helping people to identify, really discover what I call their X factors. And for the past 12 months, I've really been focusing on a concept we call the Changemakers, which are a group of international thought leaders in the business and personal development world that are coming together to empower humans to be the change. And I'm really in a space at the moment where things are exciting and it's as well frightening. You know what? Yes. You know the difference. Yeah, when you are in that strange space that you're both excited, then you go, oh, can I really do that?
Yes, and that's a fear I come up against all the time, and I think a lot of other people can relate to that fear too. And I love what you're doing too, because it's very similar to what I'm doing in sort of interviewing. I get so excited when I interview people that are doing really incredible things, because we all need to collectively step up to kind of deal with some of the things that are happening. I think for too long, people have just been passively allowing things to happen, expecting everyone else to take care of it. And we have responsibilities as human beings, as citizens, to like step up and make a difference. And so when I interview people like yourself and all sorts of other people, I get so excited because I'm like, this is everyone doing their part. It's fantastic. And it seems like that's you're in the business of doing that too. So what's Changemakers like? Is it like a group? Do you have workshops?
We are a group. We're 8 of us talking about the power of 8, and we come from 6 countries. And so we're all doing different things, but it all leads to really helping people, business organizations, to create a culture that is sustainable, inclusive, and magnetic. Because we really feel that that's needed in the world. And speaking of happiness that you talked about before, I think when we can get people to be happy at work, to be happy in their life, to find their inner fulfillment, everyone wins.
Yeah. It's so important. And I forget that there's so many people who aren't going to a job where they feel fulfilled and happy and get up on a Monday and dread it. I've been lucky enough to kind of create an environment where I am happy to get up every day, and part of my work is going off and traveling and stuff. And so what kind of advice do you give? How do you help people find that?
One of the first things that I've noticed in as I've been working with people from basically all sorts of people, if we put them into certain boxes here. I work a lot with entrepreneurs. I've worked a lot with politicians, leaders, and it doesn't really matter whom I'm talking to or whom I'm working with. It's always the same thing that comes up, and it has to do with their limiting beliefs. And now I'm seeing it more into how we put ourselves into limiting places. We call it boxes. And so we are either putting ourselves into a box that isn't really serving us, and it's putting us down, and it's not only putting us down, it has an energetic influence to everyone else around us as well. So when we are putting ourselves into a box that is not serving us, it has that ripple effect. And at the same time, if you are aware of that, you can place yourself in a box that is better, as a good box, and that has then the positive effect around you.
I love that you've said that, because that's exactly what I have noticed in myself. All of the depression, all of the hesitation to sort of move forward and do work has come from my own limiting beliefs and doubts. So whether or not I don't feel like I'm good enough, relationship stuff, and, I'm never going to meet anyone, I'm going to die alone, all these horrible thoughts that we have, it really does. And then when you reframe things, instantly you feel better. Instantly it can catapult you and help you move forward when you sort of shift your beliefs. So, and it's not just, you're right, it's with the person themselves, and it's with the organization and the people who are kind of in that organization.
And it really, it's you can say maybe it's a cliche to say it all starts with yourself,
but it's true.
It's true. It all really starts with yourself, and it's amazing. Nowadays, I'm becoming more and more aware of this. Obviously, as I'm working in this, and I'm writing a book, called The Story of Boxes: The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and so I'm really digging into it at the moment. And the other day, just give you one example of just a normal day thing. I was queuing up in a bank, and which one does once in a while. And I noticed.
Sorry, what do you mean queuing up in the back?
And standing in a line if you are in America, queuing up if you're in Britain. Okay.
Thanks for clarifying.
Clarifying the different English here. I'm in the middle. And as I was standing there waiting for my turn, I noticed a thought coming in, and my thought was, gosh, people in banks that works in banks, they are boring. And as I noticed this, and I'm thinking, what? Why am I putting every single person on this planet that happens to work in banks in a box called you are a boring person?
Right.
And it scared me at the same time, and I thought, this is a huge responsibility that I'm doing here. And so as I'm actually thinking about this, why am I doing that? And I'm wondering, what is this thought really giving me? And I thought, it's not giving me anything positive, and it's definitely not giving a positive energy around here.
No.
So what I noticed was, at that time, it was just, I was bored, standing in line. That was it. Yeah. And what I could do was simply start to smile or tell a joke to the other person, or start a conversation, and that would change my attitude towards every single bank people that work in banks. Come on. Yeah.
I get that. We make these judgments, and it's and we put these things on other people, and it's like, why do we do that? I had it with I've talked about this a few times, a relationship with somebody where he started, it didn't go anywhere, but he was sharing pictures of someone else on social media, and I got really upset and angry, because I was like, well, when we were together, you never shared any pictures on me, and I got so angry about it. And then I shifted my thought to, I would like him to be happy. It doesn't matter. We weren't meant to be. I'm hoping that this means that he's happy or whatever. It's not about me. And instantly I felt tons better. And we have that choice. And people don't even always realize that you have a choice to think what you think. You can think the things that make you angry, that make you judge people, or you can choose to think the other things. And like you say, start a conversation and be nice to somebody and just think things that make you feel good. So it's so important.
It's my bubble anyway.
Yeah. So choose a good one.
Choose a good one. Exactly. Yeah. So that you can go to bed at the end of the day, and you can go over it in your mind. So what did I do that was uplifting, that was good, that not only gave me something, but it actually gave my neighbor or someone who was around me as well, something that was uplifting, and something that leaves a positive effect. Because after all, being in personal branding, that's the feeling that you are leaving behind in other people's mindset. And that's the thing that they are going to talk about when you're not in the room.
Right. Leaving them with that feeling is so important. And I did the Steve Harvey show the other day. He's an American TV presenter. It's very random, funny little segment I was on about dating. Anyway, when I was backstage, I could hear him talking about the people that you surround yourself with. And it sounded very harsh at the time, but he was saying that anyone that they call you and they drain you, get rid of them. And he was very, very clear about it. It's like if somebody kind of makes you feel a little bit down, just get rid of them. You know, if someone that you call them and you feel energized and you feel happy, they're the people you keep in your life. And at the time I thought, that's a bit harsh. You should give people a chance. But actually, I think it's really important. And I think it's important for us to be the people that when you leave someone, it's my intention that when I leave you feeling good. When I'm around you, I give you kindness and love and my attention. And I leave you feeling good. And if we all just did that, you know, and we all have bad days, and it's okay to accept that it's a bad day. You apologize when you need to, you keep to yourself if you need to, but you know, there's no real excuse for kind of just draining people all the time.
I think the world would be a better place. And I love what Brené Brown says around that. Showing your vulnerability. So when you don't have the best of the day, you know, when it's not your ideal day, to be able to authentically share that in a way that it's not going to be, I'm a victim here, but more of a, hey, you know what, probably not my best day. Yeah.
Yes, I love it. You're like me. I love it when I have conversations where it's just echoing thoughts and beliefs that I share. But no, I say the same thing all the time. And it is important that you're not kind of just burdening other people with all your problems and complaining and moaning, but you're coming and saying, this is just where I'm at. You know, would love to get your thoughts. And, you know, I'm just going to sit by myself for a little bit and just being open and honest. Exciting. So we are giving away today some 5 people are going to win the course that you have. So it's called Claiming Back Your Happiness Zone. So guys, in the comments, you've got a month to enter this. Sign up and we'll pick 5 winners and you just get access to this fantastic course. So Runa, could you just tell us a little bit about it?
Oh, yes, I can tell you more than just a little bit.
Excellent. Tell me a lot.
I think I need to keep it down to a small bit.
You got 15 minutes to tell me about it.
Okay. So the whole concept about claiming back your happiness zone is the thing that we want to bring out is to help people to identify really to the core what makes them happy. Because we're a social creature. We have the tendency to think, oh, I will be happy if I am like this one, or I will be happy if I do like that one. Well, we're not really listening to what makes us happy. What are the things that makes my little heart sing with joy? So Nick Haynes and myself, we are both the creators of this course, and he's actually co-writing the book that I told you earlier. He's the man behind the vitality test, which is a profound test. It's a test that measures your life's vitality. He's using actually his wisdom, 35 years in the ancient Chinese medicine, and so that measures your vitality. And what we're doing there is you can do it online. You can take this test and it's all free, and you get like a chart where what are the 5 windows that you see are the best windows for you if you look at it as a window. And so we're looking at that, and then we're looking at what makes each person, or the idea, well, the description, if you could be a water, you could be a wood, fire, earth, metal. And you're looking at, if you are a water person, what really lights your fire? And we're taking that to a whole new level than what you're often used to see. And because what we noticed is this tendency of either placing us into a box or placing other people into a box. It is making us feel isolated. When you know who you are to the core, and when you know what makes you feel that you are in your flow, in your vitality, you're kind of like, you're in your zone, whatever you want to call it. Those are the little breadcrumbs that light your fire. And I give you an example. Nick was hiring a person to in his as a receptionist and in his clinic, and as he was going through the hiring process, he noticed that the woman that he was interviewing, she kept on asking, "Will there be typewriting?" And he was always kind of like moving that way of, well, might be somebody. She came back to, I really love typewriting, and he kept on moving it away, but she kept on talking about typewriting. And finally, he understood that this woman, it would really make her day if she got a task that involved a lot of typewriting. Yeah. And that was it. She would be a happy bunny sitting on a desk, typewriting all day.
Right.
Whether it is he was coming from his view of
what he needed. Yeah.
And this is where often when we're not listening, we're not listening to ourselves, we're not listening to the ones that we're talking to, there are conflicts.
Yeah.
And there are all these things that are making us feel, I don't know. I don't feel good about, what's matter with me? Well, it's nothing matter with you. So in this course, we're actually helping you identify your sweet spot. And at the end of the course, we're taking you through the process of how do you find the top 5 things that makes you really in your happiness zone. And that's profound. So when you have that, and you can put your attention into that, your energy shifts, and you can really start to focus on the things that light your heart, your true heart, not somebody else.
This is probably I'm very excited about having this as a giveaway. So guys, I've just put a link to the vitality test in the comments. I'm going to update the description after this call. And then there's also the link to enter the giveaway. But I think that finding so many people want to know what that is when they're not sure. And I think this is a fantastic thing to be offering people. Do you know what your 5 things are? What gets you in your happiness zone?
Oh, I can tell you what gets me in the happiness zone. It is exactly what I'm doing right now.
Perfect. Talking, sharing,
being able to empower, to being able to give people something that lights their fire, that lights their little hearts. That is absolutely where I come in. And when I can raise their awareness towards just the small things that can make them feel better, that make them feel they belong rather than they're alone, that make them feel that they are loved rather than being missed out. All of those things that I think just makes this world a better world. And if I can do that, wow, I'm happy.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Do you think that we need to be very specific? Because I think I have a very similar mission and thing that lights me up. I think also just having experience in nature is something that really lights me up, and then being with people that I love and just connecting with people. But sometimes it becomes very difficult to navigate in a business. Like, this is what I should be doing with that. What would you advise for that?
I love that. I think you just hit a beautiful nail, which I think is one of the things that are really shifting in the world today. It used to be, the old paradigm used to tell us, you have to find that one thing that you love, and that's what you are going to do. And you have to decide. It used to be you have to go to get a college degree or university degree, and this is what you're gonna do. Well, you know what? That has changed. I love the fact that what I'm seeing today, and I'm so inspired by people that have the courage to follow that. It's some people call it being a slush.
A slush? I've not heard that before.
No.
No, I haven't.
Meaning, and I give you one example. A beautiful friend of mine, Shay Ali. She's a member of the network of transformational leaders that I belong to. She says, when she talks about herself, she says that she's a slushy. She says, I'm a barrister. That's a lawyer in the US. I'm a barrister / comedian / motivational speaker /
I'm definitely a slushy.
I think if we just come out there, we're authentic and say, I am a slashy. But at the core, this is what I love to do.
Yeah.
We're being ourselves. Because what I see when we fall out of that flow, that's where we start to build those temples around us, making sure nobody gets inside, and we're, become really stuffy, and we become that person that I don't think no one really wants to be.
No, you're right. I like that. I love that term. I would say it was a slashy, but I like your pronunciation. Slushy works too. Yeah. Slushy kind of makes it sound like you've got like an ice drink that's got a bit watery, Either way, it's cool. I'm just going to read some comments. We've got, hey, Ben. We've got Ben O'Leo on the line. We've got some cool people today. Need more info on the vitality test, says O'Leo. I've just shared that, so definitely check it out and enter the giveaway. Ben says, we are who we associate ourselves with. A negative mindset in a group of friends can spread to everyone else in that circle. Surround yourselves with like-minded individuals, and you all take on some of the likeness through osmosis. Exactly. That's so true. Olea says, I believe treat people how you expect or would like to be treated. We definitely should do that. You have to deal with you. Very true.
That is a very, very good comment. And I would normally say yes. There is one slight thing that I would add to that, and that is that breath, that just a short moment of breath to check where they are at. Because normally that means you have to listen a little bit to where they are at, because that's what they want to be treated as.
Interesting. That's true, because we have, and I think that's where we can go wrong sometimes too. I have often people say things like, I don't know, I would never do that, so I don't know why they did that. And I'm like, well, but you're not them, and we all do things in different ways. So that's a fantastic point in being aware of how someone else wants to be treated. Another book that I've talked about a lot is the 5 love languages. Yeah. And so we all show love we all like to show love and give love in different ways. And so the idea is not to show your partner the love that how you want it, it's to show it how they want it, and hopefully they do it in return. So that's a really great point. I hadn't thought about that. Ben says, yes, this is the perfect topic. So excited for this. So that's awesome. And then we've got David Brower here, says, so many people feel unappreciated at work. Definitely.
Oh, David.
Yeah. You know David?
Yeah, David, he's my man. He's from the Network for Transformational Leaders.
Oh,
yeah. So we have people from all over the world. I can see that.
Hey, David, what's up? Thanks for joining us. So how can people be part of the network? Are you kind of like a closed group? Is it an open group? How does that work?
Oh, it's by invitation group.
Okay.
So people that are in the transformational world, this is basically a network for us to come together, have fun, and learn from each other.
I like that.
When we're doing work that we are doing on a day-to-day basis, it's really good to have regular meetings with your peer and learn from them and be able to relax and enjoy yourself in that space.
Yeah, I think that's important. I've been joining a sort of a group, a circle of women sort of in business and stuff like that. And it's called, I've forgotten what it's called. What is that term? When you have, it's not a think tank, but it's you know what I mean? What's the word?
It can be many things. You can have your own, like a mastermind thing, or you can have, your tribe in that. But you're really having a support and having that safe space. I think that is one thing that really gives me a lot, to know that I can be in a safe space and know that I normally I wouldn't think that I am anything different to whatever I am, but nevertheless, I think I really feel safe when I'm in that group. Yeah.
And interestingly, this is something, as you're saying this is something that anybody can easily do from anywhere in the world. Yeah. You can put together, I mean, you're a collection of people that are in different countries. You can either, like, I want to say, it's not a networking group. That's not what it is. But the Lean In, Sheryl Sandberg has a book called Lean In. And so we have these Lean In circles. So for women who are in business, or, whatever types of women, you can sort of, in your area, find what Lean In circle is happening around you and choose one that suits you. That's just one thing. But then there's circles for all sorts of different people that you
They're
can.
all sorts, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like what the change makers, what we are creating these days. We're just launching what we call the No More Boxes Breakfast Clubs. And that is really like a global clubs that people come together simply to raise the awareness around the boxes, so that they are either putting themselves into or they're putting other into, and having that deep dialogue, just being able to have a conversation, because it's we're so blinded by this, but it's so harmful at the same time. It's not serving anyone.
Yes. No, I agree. So yeah, guys, that's something that anyone can do if you kind of want to be surrounded by like-minded individuals. If you've got an interest or something that you're interested in or want to learn or do more of, find a circle that's around that topic and kind of immerse yourself in it. This is already a way to find that thing that gets you in your happiness zone and learn more about it. Because I think it's that taking that step into doing it sometimes is really daunting for people, and it's actually not that difficult at all when you just go online and do it. Or find a group and do it.
It's not difficult at all. It's just the first thing is to know what it is that you want, and the second thing is to go basically be open with it. I normally feel that when I've decided that I'm going to do something, things come my way.
Yeah Brilliant. So for the last few minutes, the title topic is how to escape your isolating, divisive and limiting beliefs. What would you sort of give to people as a takeaway to help them get out of their boxes? What type of things do you teach and talk about in your workshops?
Well, the first step to anything is really to be aware. Being aware of what is that box, that limiting belief that I'm holding so tight, maybe. And often we need help from third partner, from a coach or mentor or a friend or whatever, to identify what is that really that is holding me so back. And once you have identified that, then you can start to work on it. Then you can really start to make that shift, because then you're conscious about, this is what is, I keep going into that box. Why am I doing that? It's not serving me. So then you can start to work on it and look at, we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly box. So, if you're in an ugly box and you're aware this box is an ugly box, I mean, you can be in a relationship, like a marriage, and a marriage can be a good box, a bad box, and an ugly box. And it is really, once you really understand, and that can often be when you're in the midst of things, just all of a sudden it's like you find yourself in that ugly box. Once you know that, you can start to switch over. It can be your mindset. It can be helping you on a deeper level that you need help with, that are then what is really troubling you. And that could be with our boxes. We found out there are 8 different drivers to why we do this. And so, and most of the reasons are mixed of several drivers. So when you really go into that and you start to understand why you're doing that, then you can go, okay, I have a choice. I can let go. And then what tools do I need to let go? And there are tons of tools out there. So this is a life journey. So, but you take that one step at a time. And just like I mentioned with the poor people that work in banks, I mean, I mean, I was putting them, I wouldn't say an ugly box. It was a mixture between a bad and an ugly where I was there. But when the moment I got them into the good box, I felt so much better. And that ripples around me. So it was, in that case, it was my mindset.
One of my favorite books is Ask and It's Given by Esther and Abram Hicks. And again, because you said the first thing to do is have an awareness of these limiting beliefs that you have. And what I find is, if I'm hesitant about doing something, if I feel bad, or if I kind of wake up and I feel like I'm getting a bit depressed and like that kind of darkness is there, that's a sign that those beliefs need to be looked at and worked on. So I just say, if you feel bad, if you're not feeling good, listen to what that is. And usually the hesitation, that if I'm avoiding doing something, it's because I am anxious about having a conversation with someone, or I'm scared to take the plunge and do it because I don't feel like I'm good enough, or people won't like it, or whatever it is. But you have to really look at that and identify it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And what I love about Nick, who is the man behind the vitality test, he's done these fantastic conscious questions, that a list of them that can really help you identify and can really help you move yourself from one box to another, simply because it's natural to us when we get a question, it's a natural thing for us to answer the question. So if we are asking the question, why am I so stupid? You know, your conscious mind is going to go, well, you're so stupid because da 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 da. But when you ask yourself, so why is it okay that I'm lovable today? Your subconscious mind is going to go, well, it might be because da 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 da. You find your answer.
Yeah.
So there are all sorts of little things like that that can help you move yourself from the boxes.
Yeah. That is wonderful. And it reminds me of another favorite book, The Magic Question by Bart A. Baggett, which is, how we ask ourselves all the wrong questions that give us all the answers that don't help in any way. So why don't we ask the questions that we want the answers for instead, you know? Runa, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today. I love these conversations.
Yeah, I can go forever.
Me too. Guys, Runa, we're giving away her course, Finding Your Happiness Zone. So make sure that you check that out. I'll have a link to the vitality test in the show notes as well, so that you can take that vitality test and sort of find where you kind of fit in, or what kind of gets you going. Where can people find out more about you?
Well, they can go to my website, runamagnus.com, RUNAMAGNUS.com. And they can find then all about me and the Changemakers and our No More Boxes awareness movement. So excellent. I would love to get their visits.
Perfect. I'll put all of that in the updated show notes too. This has been wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. And yes, guys, I will see you soon next week. Oh, I forget who's on next week. We've got so many fantastic interviews lined up. But I will be back next week with Kimmy Morton and Pua Pekali, which will be really, really fun. So, Runa, thanks again. Have a great day.
Like we say over here in Iceland, bless, bless.
Bless, bless. Oh, I like that a lot. Bless, bless. Bye, bless, guys. Bless.